The quiet threat. Sometimes the most significant challenges are the ones that unfold silently, almost invisibly, in the background of our daily lives. When a welcome wears out. It's a phrase that captures a subtle but powerful shift, one that happens not with a bang, but with the quiet ticking of a clock, the slow passage of days, and the silent expiration of a document. When we think of immigration, our minds often jump to images of fences, border patrols, and dramatic crossings. But there's another side to the story, a quieter, less visible side that plays out in airports, classrooms, and neighborhoods across the country. Every year, millions of people arrive in the United States legally. They come on student visas to study, on tourist visas to explore, or on work visas to build careers and support families. Each one passes through the airport, their paperwork in order, their hopes high, and their welcome assured. At the border, they're greeted by customs officers, welcomed by friends and family, and begin their American journey with the full permission of the law. But for some, the story doesn't end when their visa does. When the expiration date comes and goes, a difficult choice emerges: return home or stay and slip quietly into the shadows. This is what's known as a visa overstay. It's not a dramatic border crossing, but it's a significant part of the unauthorized immigrant population in the U.S., a group that often goes unnoticed in the national conversation. While headlines focus on the southern border, the data tells a different story. Many unauthorized immigrants didn't sneak across a fence. They flew in, legally, with visas and passports, blending into the crowd. The system works as long as the rules are followed. But when the temporary period ends and someone stays, the system quietly fails. There's no alarm, no flashing lights, just a silent shift from legal to illegal status. Imagine inviting a guest to your home for the weekend. At first, it's exciting. But as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, the situation grows uncomfortable. Multiply that by thousands, and you begin to see the scale of the issue. This scenario, repeated across the nation, creates a massive blind spot in our immigration system. It's a challenge that's hard to see, but impossible to ignore. Millions remain in the country after their legal permission expires. For law enforcement and security agencies, this creates a complex problem. How do you track people who entered legally, but now live outside the system? Each year, the cycle repeats. Millions enter the U.S. on temporary visas, contributing to the economy, culture, and diversity of the nation. The vast majority follow the rules, returning home or renewing their status. But even a small percentage who overstay adds up to hundreds of thousands of people each year. These individuals become part of a population that's off the grid, living, working, and moving through society without legal status or official tracking. What starts as a simple paperwork violation can quickly become a much larger issue, creating vulnerabilities in the system and challenges for communities and authorities alike. This gap in our defenses isn't just a bureaucratic oversight. It's a potential opening for those with bad intentions. In a world where security threats can come from anywhere, even a silent overstay can have serious consequences. More than just an immigration issue. When we think about immigration, the first images that come to mind are often crowded airports, bustling border crossings, and the endless lines at government offices. But beneath the surface, the story is far more complex and far-reaching than most people realize. For years, visa overstays were dismissed as little more than an administrative headache, a mountain of paperwork for officials to sort through, a bureaucratic nuisance that rarely made headlines. The focus was almost entirely on managing forms and files, not on the potential risks to national security. It was seen as a matter of record-keeping, not a threat to the country's safety. But over time, intelligence agencies began to notice troubling patterns. In the aftermath of several high-profile security incidents, analysts pored over records and found a common thread running through some of the cases. Some of the individuals involved in these incidents had entered the country legally, but then simply stayed after their visas expired. What once seemed like a minor infraction suddenly took on a much darker significance. This realization served as a wake-up call for policymakers and law enforcement alike. It became clear that the visa system, if left unchecked, could be exploited by those with far more dangerous intentions than just seeking unauthorized work. Overstaying a visa was no longer just a paperwork problem. It had become a potential national security threat, capable of providing cover for individuals who might wish to do harm. It's not just about someone working a cash job under the radar. In some cases, it's about using the anonymity provided by an expired visa to plan attacks, conduct espionage, or facilitate other criminal activities without drawing attention. The act of overstaying a visa allows individuals to blend into the crowd, making it much harder for authorities to track their movements or intentions. This anonymity can be a powerful tool for those with sinister motives. Of course, it's important to remember that the vast majority of visa overstayers are not threats. Most are simply people who lost track of time or faced unexpected circumstances. But from a security perspective, agencies must always prepare for the worst-case scenario. A system that allows people to disappear from official tracking isn't just a bureaucratic oversight, it's a major vulnerability. It creates opportunities for those who want to evade detection, whether for minor or major reasons. In today's world, where threats can come from anywhere and technology is constantly evolving, this is like leaving a digital gap in the nation's fence, one that adversaries are all too eager to exploit. The question now facing the government is urgent and complex. How will they close this gap, and what steps will be taken to ensure that the visa system is no longer a weak link in the nation's security chain? The Department of Justice draws a line in the sand. The DOJ is stepping in, signaling a shift to criminal enforcement. Overstaying a visa is now viewed through a national security lens. The DOJ is prosecuting individuals for crimes committed while overstaying. Charges like visa fraud and false statements are used. This approach is more powerful than deportation, carrying prison threats. The crackdown is targeted, focusing on national security threats. The DOJ seeks individuals connected to foreign governments or sensitive technology. It's a strategic effort to find genuine threats. Criminal charges allow deeper investigations into activities and connections. This shift changes the game from removal to investigation. Connecting the dots, overstays, and national security incidents. History shows chilling lessons, like the 9/11 attacks. Some hijackers were on expired visas, planning while their permission lapsed. The 9/11 Commission highlighted this as a critical vulnerability. Other plots involved overstayers, showing immigration loopholes as security nightmares. The visa system is our front door. Failure to enforce limits compromises it. Overstayers can operate without oversight, posing unacceptable risks. The intelligence community warns of overstayers as potential recruits for adversaries. The visa overstay problem creates a population of untracked individuals. Why the big push now? Experts point to converging factors. Technology now allows better tracking of visa overstays. Biometric systems at airports provide cleaner data. The problem is no longer invisible. Threats have evolved beyond large-scale plots to include soft power threats. Overstaying a visa extends missions for those with malicious intent. The government is playing catch-up, realizing the importance of tracking. Political will has materialized, making the issue politically untenable. Both parties see the need to close this loophole for different reasons. Behind every visa overstay is a human story. Most stories aren't about terrorism. They're about hope and desperation. Many overstay for personal, often sympathetic reasons. Some escape poverty or violence. Others fall in love and start families. Consider a student who can't find a sponsor and fears returning home, or a worker sending money home for a family emergency. These stories complicate the narrative, showing human consequences. DOJ prosecutions raise stakes for everyone, not just security risks. It creates fear, driving people further underground. Policymakers face a balancing act, targeting threats without harming those seeking better lives. The focus on visa overstays affects communities and policies. It creates fear, making people retreat further into the shadows. This hinders public health outreach and crime-solving efforts. Many industries rely on immigrant labor, including overstayers. A crackdown could create labor shortages and disrupt supply chains. Policy discussions must address why people overstay. Are legal pathways too narrow or complex? The crackdown pressures the system to be more efficient and responsive. Tourism and education industries could suffer if the U.S. seems unwelcoming. How do we address security concerns without harming our economy? It's about having both security and openness. We need a smart, modern approach. Biometric systems must track entries and exits reliably. DOJ's targeted approach focuses on high-risk individuals. Enforcement should be intelligence-driven, not blanket. Fixing the legal immigration system is crucial. Create realistic pathways for work and study. Properly fund administrative agencies to reduce accidental overstays. Make the legal way the easy way. Visa overstays are a complex 21st century challenge. Every year, thousands of people enter the country legally, but some remain after their visas expire, creating a situation that is difficult to monitor and manage. This issue isn't just about numbers. It's about security, fairness, and the integrity of our immigration system. The Department of Justice's focus on this problem addresses a real security vulnerability. When we don't know who is staying beyond their permitted time, it opens the door to potential risks, both to public safety and national security. We need a system that knows, in real time, who is in our country and for how long. Modern technology can help track entries and exits, ensuring that our borders are secure without being overly intrusive. But a strategy based solely on prosecution and punishment will fail. Relying only on crackdowns and legal action doesn't address the root causes or offer long-term solutions. What we truly need is comprehensive reform of the visa system, one that is efficient, transparent, and fair to both visitors and citizens alike. More flexible work visas and clearer, more accessible paths to legal status are essential. These changes would help fill labor shortages, keep families together, and encourage people to follow the rules. This is a practical issue, not a partisan one. People from all political backgrounds agree that the current system isn't working as it should. We need a system that is tough on genuine threats, but also smart and compassionate in welcoming those who contribute to our economy and society. It's about balance, protecting our borders while embracing the talent and energy that immigrants bring. The current crackdown is a symptom of a system under strain. It signals the urgent need for thoughtful, meaningful change, not just more enforcement. Our leaders must step up to build a better system, using the latest technology and providing proper funding to make it work. This means investing in smarter tracking, better data sharing, and more efficient processing. We must close the back door of overstays without slamming the front door on the talent, innovation, and diversity that drive our nation forward. Welcoming skilled workers and students strengthens our future. The time for smart, comprehensive action is now. We can't afford to wait any longer. It's time to build an immigration system that works for everyone, safe, fair, and ready for the challenges of today and tomorrow.